The gray prison walls loomed behind Clint Austin as he moved forward, his steps hindered by the manacles connecting his wrists and ankles with links of chain designed to impede movement. The shackles had been one last humiliation. For old time's sake, the warden had said. The guards on either side of Clint had snickered and snorted as they carried out that final order. Clint had simply stood there and allowed the bastards to do what they would. For more than 10 years, his choices had not been his own. Accepting that reality had equated to survival. No more. The early morning sun drew his gaze to the sky. Clint closed his eyes a moment to relish the welcome warmth. He couldn't remember the last time he'd been allowed to come outside. It had been months at least. The law said he got 1 hour a day in the fresh air, but that privilege had been cut long ago with a sham of an excuse. The guards liked putting pressure on inmates, amping up their anxiety level. They especially liked doing it to Clint. Just another attempt at causing him to screw up. Clint hadn't let the bastards get to him. He'd taken the punishments, the beatings for no apparent reason, the forgotten meals, all of it, without so much as a word in argument or the slightest effort in retaliation. He'd played by every single rule. Now his freedom was so close he could taste it, smell it. There was nothing anyone could do to stop him from walking away. As if to deny that certainty, fear, bone-cold and irrational, trickled inside him. A muscle in his jaw jerked with the pressure of holding back the questions about what happened next that he suddenly wanted to ask. His conviction had been overturned. He was free. The guards, the warden, no one here could prevent Clint from leaving. The affirmation rang hollow inside him. The command was given, and the 12-foot-high gate topped with its concertina wire yawned open, creaking and groaning as if it, too, was reluctant to permit his long-awaited departure. The bottom, the pits of hell called Holman Prison, didn't like vomiting back up the men it devoured. At least not until they were properly punished, as God and the warden saw fit. That trickle of fear widened into a stream of pure panic, knotting Clint's gut, clamping around his chest like unyielding arms. He'd waited for this moment for so long. The blood rushed to his brain and exploded there in a burst of sheer terror, urging him to go back, to seek the security and sanctuary of that 5x8 cell, the only place he'd felt the least bit safe for so damned long. Fighting the impulse, he aimed his attention on the hope that open gate presented. His hands clenched into fists as the muscles in his legs cramped with the compulsion to run, but the shackles and the fear kept him paralyzed. Sweat squeezed from his pores as the air sawed in and out of his lungs. He ordered himself to be still, to focus. No sudden moves. The remembered pain from far too many reminders of that hard-earned lesson stung through his body. The guard on Clint's right unlocked the cuffs around his wrists, then gave him the key. He bent down, his hands shaking, and released the steel bands circling his ankles. As he straightened, he handed the key back. Then he froze. What now? He'd been given no specific exodus orders, no directions on how to proceed. Reason had deserted him, leaving his already raw senses cluttered with confusion and doubt. "What the hell you waiting for, Austin?" The guard on Clint's left nudged him in the spleen with his baton. "Get the hell out of here before we decide to keep your sorry ass." Clint's heart rammed against his chest, urging him to act. Another prod from the baton ignited his long-slumbering fury, fueling the courage that had betrayed him this morning. He stepped away from the impotent shackles, resisted the temptation to break loose and run without ever looking back.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.